Hello guys. So in this session we are going to learn how to use Helm lint, Helm debug and dry run and Helm template. Okay. So let's start to understand how to use Helm lint, Helm debug, dry run and Helm template. So Helm the Kubernetes package manager here empowers developer and operates in streamline application development and managing Kubernetes resources efficiently. Among its a serial of commands, there stand out as indispensable tools for ensuring smooth development and maintaining chart integrity, lint, template, and dry run. So let's start. So first of all, we need a Ubuntu 24.0 for LTS. So I have already launched my instance and I have already installed Minikube, kubectl and Helm. Okay. So here, as you can see, here I have installed Minikube, kubectl and Helm. Okay, so we have successfully installed this three prerequisite. Now let's start. So first of all, as you can see here, Helm lint command use case with examples. Okay. So first of all, the Helm lint command is used to check a Helm chart for potential issues, errors, and it performs a series of checks on the chart structure, syntax, and with to best practices. Okay. So here are some common use cases for Helm lint. So first is validate chart syntax. So in this, Helm checks the syntax of your Helm chart files, ensuring that they are correctly formatted and follow the expected syntax. And this help catch issues such as YAML syntax error or misplaced templating your directives. Okay. Then the common examines, sorry, next it checks chart structure. Okay. So in this, the common examine the overall structure of your Helm chart to ensure that it adheres to requires conversation. It verifies the presence of necessary files and directories such as chart.yaml file, templates directory and others. Then next one is verify template rendering. Oh, okay. Then ensure chart based practice, prevent common mistakes. Okay. So that's the five use cases of Helm lint. Okay. Then after that here, so Helm lint command is used to validate your Helm chart and detect potential issues or errors before deploying them to Kubernetes cluster. And this command takes a path to a chart and runs a series of tests to verify that the chart is well formed. So if lender encounters things that will cause the chart to fail installation, so it will emit error message. And if it encounters the ensure that the breakdown conversion or recommendation, it will emit warning message. Okay. So to use Helm lint, navigate the directory containing your Helm chart. So let's run the following commands. So as you can see here, the syntax Helm lint and dot. Okay. So we replace this dot with the path of your Helm chart if it is the different directory. Okay. So let's start. So if there is no issue, the command will display a message indicating the linting was successful. So if there are problem, Helm lint will provide information about the errors or warning encounters. Okay. So let's start. That means it will give us error or warning if there is. In short, Helm lint means if there is any problem, then it will display the error or warning message when we run Helm lint and your chart name. Okay. So let's start. So here I mention example. So first we will create a chart name. The name will word using the word Helm create, and you can give any name to you want. Okay. So let's create a Helm chart using the command. So the command is Helm create and your chart name world. So if I run the ls command, as you can see, my chart is successfully created. So let's insert this world. Now if I run the ls command, as you can see, the files. Okay. And here you can see this command will analyze your chart files, templates, and values for any potential issues or errors. And if everything is correct, you will see a message indicating that linting was successful. Okay. So now let's see what will happen if there is an error. Okay. So we will modify the values.yaml file first. Okay. So let's modify. So first of all, before modifying, if I run this command, he'll help lint word. So let's exit from the directory. As you can see, there is no any errors, right? As of now. So here icon is recommended and one chart, lint, 0 charts, and so on, right? That means there is no, as of now, there is no any errors. Okay. So let's insert the directory and let's open our values.yaml file. And I'm going to remove some lines here. So I'm going to remove these 2 lines here, right? And let's save the file and exit. And let's exit the directory and let's run this command helm lint. Well, now it gives us error. Why? Because we made wrong changes. So as you can see, chart.yaml icon is recommended, values.yaml unable to pass, and so on. You can see one chart, lint one, and chart. So here, first of all, we have 0, right? Now it's 1. Okay. So you can see. So if there are errors or warning, you will receive feedback about what need to be fixed as shown in this example, right? So that's the example of lint, right? Okay. Now the next is here, Helm template command use case with example. Okay. Now next is Helm template. So the Helm template command is used to render the Kubernetes YAML manifest from a Helm chart without installing it on a cluster. So this is useful for inspecting the generated Kubernetes resource before deploying them to a cluster. And here are some common use case for the Helm template. So first is preview manifest. Okay. So in this preview manifest, use Helm template to generate a Kubernetes YAML manifest based on the Helm chart, and this allows you to inspect the resources that will be deployed to a cluster without actually applying them. So in syntax, as you can see, Helm template, release name, then your chart name, -f, values.yaml file. That's the preview manifest. Okay. So the next is debugging. So in debugging, when encountering issues during Helm chart deployment, you can use Helm template to examine the rendered manifest. And this helps in debugging and identifying any problem with the generated Kubernetes source or values. Okay, that's the debugging. Right. Next is version control and auditing. So you can see here the example. So syntax Helm template, your release name, chart name, -f, values.yaml file, and output.yaml file. Then next use case is customization and overrides. So preview the manifest with different configuration and overrides by specifying a different values file or using the set option to dynamically change the values. So as you can see the syntax Helm template release name chart name -, set key 1 is equals to value 1, key 2 is equals to value 2. Then next use case is integration with CI/CD. So in a continuous integration deployment, that means CI/CD pipeline, you might want to use Helm template as a step to generate the Kubernetes manifest. So before applying them to the target Kubernetes cluster, this allows you to perform additional checks or validations before actual deployment. Then next and last use case is security and compliance check. So before deploying the production environment, use Helm template to inspect the generated manifest and perform security and compliance checks. So this ensures that the deployment resource to your organization policies and standards. So the Helm template command task a Helm chart as input and process its completes which are written in Go template language. It replaces placeholder in the templates with actual values and generated the resulting Kubernetes manifest file. And here they mention. So let's start the example. Okay. So let's start this example with Helm template, right? So let's start. So first we will create a chart name demo, and using the helm create command, you can give any name to your chart. So I'm going to create new chart with the name demo for learning helm template. So if I run the ls command, as you can see, demo. Okay. Then we will use the helm template command to inspect rendered YAML. So let's see helm template and your chart name. So as you can see, it's give these files, right? First of all, the API version and so on, the details, right? Okay. Then after that, so now our event changes to values.yaml file. So we need to change in our values.yaml file, right? So let's inside this directory first. So I'm going to clear the screen. Then let's open values.yaml file. Okay. And here in values.yaml file, change the image repository as shown in below. So our image name is here, DevOps node app. Okay. Here is the image name. Okay. So let's save the file and exit. Okay. Then let's modify deployment.yaml file. So let's inside this templates folder. And here if I run the ls command, as you can see the deployment.yaml file. So let's edit using nano editor. And here we need to change this API version, apps version 2, right? V2. Here we want to replace with V2. So let's save the file and exit. Okay. Now let's exit the directory, whole directory. And now let's run this command helm template and your chart name. Okay, so there is, I guess, there is a error. Why? Because we need to change, we need to, here we need to change this file with correct space. So let's let's open the file, that deployment.yaml file, right? Okay, it's done. So let's check for values.yaml file. If you add any extra space, then it gives us error. Oh, sorry. As you can see here in this repository, as you can see, there is extra space, right? Now it's perfect. So we need to careful about indentation. If you add any extra space, then it gives us error. Now let's exit from the directory. And now let's run the command that helm template your chart name. And as you can see the output. So let's check here. The image name that we have changed, right? So let's change here, check for first here. See, image DevOps node app that we have successfully changed here. Okay, it's successfully done, right? As you can see, it's successfully done, right? So as you can see, the API version and image change is successfully modified. So now let's see what will happen if there is an error. Okay, so let's see if there is an error, then what will happen. So now let's run the following command. Yes, we have successfully run this, right? Right, okay. We will do the same step like lint replacing word with them. Okay, so here, if you want, then you can replacing this word with demo, and then you can see the errors, right? Okay, so now it's done. Right, so let's clear the screen. then it's done, right? So after that, here you can see now. And if YAML file have wrong indentation, spacing, incorrect values, and YAML syntax, then it will throw an error and also tells where it is, right? Then next is Helm debug dry run commands use case with examples. Okay, next is this Helm debug and dry run. Okay, so here I mentioned some use cases of this. So let's check this first. So the Helm debug dry run command is used to simulate a Helm release without actually installing anything on the cluster, and it is useful way to preview what changes Helm would make to your Kubernetes resources without affecting the actual cluster. Okay. So first is preview Helm chart changes. Okay. So here when you run Helm debug dry run, Helm goes through the process of rendering and templates in your Helm chart and applying values, but it doesn't actually perform the deployment. Okay, next is syntax and templates checking. So the dry run flag allows you to catch potential errors in your Helm chart templates or values without making any changes to the live Kubernetes cluster. So this is useful for verifying the syntax of your templates and ensuring they can be rendering correctly. Then third one is check configuration and resources. So it helps you to check the configuration values you have provided are being correctly applied to the Helm chart and whether the resulting Kubernetes resources as an expected. And last one is avoid unintended changes. Sorry, avoid unintended changes. So using dry run is safely measured to prevent accidental changes to your Kubernetes cluster. By previewing the changes, you can make sure that you are deploying the right configuration before actually applying it. Okay. So that's the use cases. So let's start. So first of all, here I mentioned a syntax. As you can see, Helm install dry run debug your release name, chart name, -f values.yaml file. Okay, so here -f dry run simulates the installation without making any changes to the cluster. Then debug prints the generated Kubernetes manifest to the console for inspection. Release name the name you want to give to the Helm release. And chart name the name or path to the Helm chart. And -f values.yaml specifies a value file to override default configuration. So let's see the example. So first we will create a chart name hello world using the helm create command. If you want to give another name, then you can change the name. So now if you run the ls command, as you can see our third helm chart. Okay. Now then we will run the helm install my release debug dry run command where my release name is hw. You can give any release name. Okay. So let's install this. Sorry. Here, wait. After this command, you need to mention your chart name. So my chart name is hello world. Now it's done. As you can see, the output. Let's check. You can see your name is HW, last deploy, namespace, status, and the revision, and the user supplied, and values, and so on. Right? And the details of about it. Okay, you can see here namespace and so on. If you want to if you want to run again, then as you can see, right now let's clear the screen. Start. Now after that, this command will output the generated manifest to the console without actually installing the chart along with the nodes. So you can use this output to verify the generated manifest are correct. And if there is an error, then it will not simulate the release install. Okay, it's done, right? So see that we will follow the same steps, use as lint and templates, like right. After existing the directory, run the following command. So we have successfully run this, right? Then now Similarly, you can use the Helm upgrade debug dry run, which simulates the upgrade of existing Helm release without applying the changes and allows you to preview the modifications before executing an actual upgrade. So for install the Helm chart using following command. So first of all, let's install HW. Okay, it's done. You can see it's deploy status deployed and so on. It's done. Right. After that, let's inside your chart, and here let's open these values.yaml file, and here you can see it did the replica count replace 1 with 2. So here is the replica count. So we need to replace this 1 with 2. So let's save the file and exit. Okay. Now after that, let's exit from the directory and now perform the Helm upgrade dry run. Okay. So let's upgrade. So let's exit from the directory and let's run this command to upgrade. Okay, it's done. Right. So it's successfully upgrade. Right. So as you can see, so the status is upgrading, right? So as you can see, it's successfully done, right? It's successfully upgrading, you can see. So here, as you can see, replicas 2. That means it's successfully upgrade. So it's done, right? So this is simulate the changes without applying them, right? And it's the way to preview the changes that would be made without making them. So that's it. So here we have learned this Helm lint, Helm debug, dry run, and Helm template. So in this session, we have learned how to use this Helm lint, Helm debug, dry run, and Helm template. So thank you for watching, and I hope you understand.